My name is Paul Bostaph.
Thank you so much for joining me here at Carolina. How are you enjoying the weekend so far?
Well, we just got here. We got here yesterday. We had a day off, so I'm enjoying myself just fine. And we just got to the festival probably an hour ago, something like that. So I haven't settled in yet.
So what can we expect from the set tonight? Everybody gets so excited.
Oh, you won't be disappointed. It's going to be brutal. It'll be relentless. It's going to be a Slayer set. Very energetic, no BS.
Nice. So obviously the question on everybody's minds now is the details about the new album and all that. Have we decided on a title yet, or is it still?
I'm not sure if I can. There's a title that I think we're going to go with, but nobody told me I could tell anybody yet, so I guess I can't tell you yet. But new albums is done. I think we're still trying to decide on artwork. But it's a Slayer record. I mean, hate to keep going back to that, but it's brutal. It's got elements of dark stuff on it. We even tracked a song that Jeff had written for the last record, but it didn't make it on the record. So that song's going to be on the record. It's a really good song. So it's got a little bit of everything everybody likes.
So can you pick maybe one or two songs in particular and tell me what the mindset was like in the studio when you were putting everything together?
Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you the track list yet.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, I guess I need to find that out, huh? Nobody told me. Well, I mean, I can't. I mean, since I can't tell you the track, all I can kind of do is give you a generalization. I mean, like I said, there's, it's brutal, and it's at times it can be real punky, and it's Slayer. The best way to put it. I mean, it's after losing Jeff, which was obviously devastating to everybody. We did our best to carry on.
So, I mean, with so many changes taking place in the music industry over the years, I mean, I feel like things have almost just flipped over, now that, bands have to stay on the road longer to support an album versus, the album supporting the tour. How has your approach changed to things at all?
Doesn't change at all. As a matter of fact, I've never been somebody who's been fortunate enough to, live off, put a record out and just tour minimally to make a living, So, I've always been on the road and I love it, So if it means we got to keep touring and tour more, I love it. I love being on the road. So, and it's what it's all about. It's not about staying home and, sitting by a swimming pool, which, whatever that means. But it's, it's about getting out here and playing. I mean, if I'm home for too long, we were off for 5 months. I started going crazy,
Start crazy. Gotta get that spark back out.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, what's it like now from your perspective? You look out from the stage, and, before it was a sea of lighters up in the air. Now it's like a sea of cell phone screens. What's it like from your perspective to just see the way technology has kind of come in?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's ever been for me a sea of lighters. Maybe that was the case, back in back when I first joined the band. But I don't ever think I noticed it because I was too busy worrying about not making any mistakes. And if you're talking about technology in general, it's pretty awesome to see. When I watch, if I watch a concert and you see all the cell phones being stuck up, it's a sign of the times. Things are changing, things are moving faster. If you look at some of the turmoil, or not turmoil, some of the protests that are going on in Baltimore and across the nation. I mean, part of those, part of the awareness, the public awareness, or nationwide awareness, or worldwide awareness to the problems that are happening are because of cell phones. Because people are able, you've got your own. It's almost you have an armed public, but they're not armed with guns. You've got a public that's armed with evidence. And if it makes things better, hey, I'm down with that.
So, is there any parts of the music industry that you think need a change or an overhaul?
Well, yeah, I think that honestly, I think that people being able to appropriate music for free, I think that that's not right. I don't think people should go into poverty to buy something, but I also don't believe that we as artists should invest so much in what we do and turn around and give it away for free. I mean, like if I buy a picture off somebody and I love it, I'm happy to pay for it. You know what I mean? But then again, you know, I'm also somebody who I'm wearing a free pair of shoes. You know what I mean? Somebody gave, I'm like, yeah, I'll take them. So, you know, people say that, you know, the saying is free is for me. That's the big thing I think that I would like to see change. How that changes, so the fans get what they want, and the art, and we can kind of support ourselves. You know, to continue to do this. You know, I'd like to see that change. Will it ever, or if it's going to stay the same, I don't know. But it is what it is right now.
So, I mean, can you talk a little bit about the generational appeal of Slayer? Because, I mean, now you have fans that it's like, you know, the parents, and then they're bringing their kids, and they're just carrying on, like, the legacy of all this catalog of music. It's incredible to see.
Well, it is, and it's funny because I remember in 2000 when we went on tour for Ozfest. And it was the first time I really ever saw it. Like, usually we were used to seeing kids outside of our hotel room wanting to get their records signed. Well, when we would leave our hotel room, there were guys in like three-piece suits, like older guys, like waiting to get their Black Sabbath records signed. And every once in a while, those guys would ask us to sign stuff. And I was like, you know, I think when you see that kind of thing, I think that you know that you're doing something right, you know?
So I look at music as a universal language we can all speak and understand, even if we take a different message away. It evokes an emotion still. For you personally, when did it first begin speaking to you?
Wow. I think that's the first time I ever really heard a rock and roll song. You know, there were other styles of music in my house, like big band and, you know, Benny Goodman, Bing Crosby, stuff like that. But I couldn't relate to it. And the first time I heard a rock and roll song on the radio, it just instantly got me. So it was just, you know, the first time I heard rock and roll.
Absolutely. I think that a lot of musicians are very intricate storytellers, and you know, everything's very open to interpretation. How do you feel about that type of concept?
I think the best songwriters write songs that are open to interpretation, and you can kind of let your imagination kind of wander a bit. And you know, there are some artists who make a specific point and there's nowhere else to go, and that's really good too. It's, you know, storytelling is something I think that not only if you're listening to a specific story being told, you're also listening to a specific story being told from another human being's perspective that you can relate to because you've gone through it in your life as well.
Absolutely. Are there any songs that spoke to you in particular?
Well, I mean, yeah, over the years there were songs that I liked as a kid, but didn't really know what they were about. And then I got older and I lived through that experience, and yeah, it related to me, you know. So I mean, it's almost every song I like to listen to. So I mean, especially like the first two Ozzy records, you know, I just liked them. And then I was going through a period in my life where I just listened to those two records over and over again, and those records spoke to me, and I understood, you know, what the lyrics were really about.
You can kind of grow with it. Like, as you grow up, you start at one point, and then you're like, okay, I get it takes on a different meaning, like, as you keep going.
I think that's what they call timeless.
Absolutely. So I know we've got Carolina Rebellion here. You guys are hitting the festival circuit pretty hard with Mayhem and everything. Anything else coming up for 2015 other than the big album release?
Oh, I mean, well, just the album release and Mayhem. I mean, I think we're going to go back to Europe again, and just that's about it. Just for this year. I mean, wasn't that much because we got to put the record out. So I'm just excited for people to get a chance to hear it finally.
Absolutely, we're so excited. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to speak with me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.